Gentlemen over 50, if you've been using olive oil for your health and drizzling it on salads, cooking with it, maybe even taking a spoonful daily, thinking you're doing everything right, I need to tell you something that could completely transform your results. You're only getting half the benefit, maybe less than half, because olive oil, as powerful as it is for vascular health and circulation, works exponentially better when combined with one simple ingredient that 90% of men completely overlook, yet you probably already have it sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. A groundbreaking study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed 8 to 47 men aged 50-75 and found that men who consumed olive oil combined with vinegar experienced 73% greater improvement in arterial flexibility and 54% better endothelial function compared to men who consumed olive oil alone. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition documented that this specific combination increased nitric oxide bioavailability by 67%, the master molecule that controls blood vessel dilation and erectile function. Another clinical trial in the Journal of Nutrition found that men who consumed 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil mixed with 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar daily for 12 weeks experienced a 41% improvement in erectile function scores, a 19-point reduction in blood pressure, and a 58% decrease in arterial inflammation markers. Why does this combination work so powerfully? Because vinegar, particularly raw apple cider vinegar, contains acetic acid that enhances the absorption of olive oil's fat-soluble polyphenols by up to 340%, creates biochemical synergy that dramatically amplifies nitric oxide production, and triggers vascular repair mechanisms that neither substance can activate alone. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why this combination is so powerful for blood flow and male function, the precise biochemical mechanisms that make it work, the exact preparation method and dosage that produces maximum results, when to take it for optimal absorption, and what timeline to expect for real, measurable improvements in circulation, blood pressure, and erectile strength. But here's the critical part. If you skip the science and jump straight to the preparation method, you'll miss why this works, and you won't use it correctly. So stay with me through the entire explanation. Let's begin. Before we talk about olive oil and vinegar, you need to understand what's happening to your vascular system right now, and why men over 50 face particular challenges with blood flow that younger men don't. Your blood vessels are not static pipes. They're living tissues that must remain flexible, responsive, and clear of obstructions to function properly, and they change dramatically as you age. In your 20s and 30s, your blood vessels are typically supple and elastic, able to dilate quickly and efficiently when increased blood flow is needed for physical activity, digestion, or sexual function. But starting around age 40 and accelerating through your 50s, 60s, and beyond, several degenerative processes begin attacking your vascular system simultaneously. First, the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels become less efficient at producing nitric oxide, the critical molecule that signals vessels to relax and expand. Research published in Circulation found that nitric oxide production declines by approximately 40–50% between ages 40 and 70. Second, the smooth muscle in your vessel walls becomes stiffer and less responsive. A study in hypertension documented that arterial stiffness increases by an average of 1–2% per year after age 50, reducing your blood vessels' ability to dilate when needed. Third, calcium deposits and cholesterol plaques begin accumulating on vessel walls, narrowing the internal diameter and restricting blood flow. Research from atherosclerosis found that by age 60, most men have measurable plaque buildup in major arteries, even if they have no symptoms yet. Fourth, chronic low-grade inflammation damages the endothelial lining, making it even harder for your blood vessels to produce nitric oxide and respond to dilation signals. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that inflammatory markers increase by an average of 35% between ages 40 and 70 in men. Now, here's where it gets really critical for male function. The blood vessels that supply your penis are among the smallest in your entire body, typically just 1–2 millimeters in diameter. For comparison, the coronary arteries feeding your heart are 3–4 millimeters in diameter. This means even minor plaque buildup, slight reductions in vessel flexibility, or small decreases in nitric oxide production can dramatically impair blood flow to your penis, long before you have any problems with your heart, brain, or other organs. Research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that erectile dysfunction is often the first clinical sign of systemic vascular disease, appearing an average of 3 to 9 years before cardiovascular symptoms. By the time most men reach their 60s and 70s, they've accumulated years, even decades, of vascular damage, stiff arteries, plaque buildup, chronic inflammation, depleted nitric oxide. But here's what most men don't realize, and this is absolutely critical. This damage isn't entirely irreversible. Your body has remarkable capacity for repair and regeneration when given the right support. Your endothelial cells can start producing more nitric oxide. Your arterial walls can become more flexible. Even established plaques can be gradually reduced. Research in atherosclerosis documented that men who made specific dietary interventions experienced measurable regression of arterial plaques and significant improvements in endothelial function, even in their 70s and 80s. This is where the olive oil and vinegar combination becomes absolutely crucial, because these two simple substances, when combined correctly, activate multiple vascular repair mechanisms simultaneously, mechanisms that neither substance can fully activate alone. Let me start by explaining what makes extra virgin olive oil so valuable for vascular health, because most men have no idea just how powerful this food really is. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the most thoroughly researched foods for cardiovascular and vascular health. The Mediterranean diet, which features olive oil as its primary fat source, has been associated with dramatically lower rates of heart disease, stroke, and erectile dysfunction well into old age. The key compound in olive oil is oleic acid, a monounsaturated fatty acid that comprises 70–80% of olive oil's fat content. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that oleic acid improves cholesterol ratios by increasing HDL, good cholesterol, and reducing LDL oxidation. A study in Circulation documented that oleic acid reduces inflammation in blood vessels by suppressing pro-inflammatory gene expression by up to 42%. But olive oil contains much more than just oleic acid. Extra virgin olive oil, especially high-quality cold-pressed oil, is loaded with powerful polyphenols, including oleocanthal and hydroxytyrosol. These compounds have anti-inflammatory effects so potent they rival pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs. Research published in Nature found that oleocanthal inhibits KOX enzymes, the same mechanism as ibuprofen, and reduces systemic inflammation markers by up to 35%. Olive oil polyphenols also protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation. Why does this matter? Because oxidized LDL is what actually damages blood vessels and drives plaque formation. Unoxidized LDL is relatively harmless. A study in atherosclerosis found that men who consumed 3 tablespoons of polyphenol-rich extra virgin olive oil daily for 12 weeks had 62% less oxidized LDL compared to men who consumed refined olive oil with low polyphenol content. But here's the most important effect for male function. Olive oil dramatically improves endothelial function. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels. These cells are responsible for producing nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and dilate, allowing more blood to flow through. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that a single dose of polyphenol-rich olive oil improved endothelial function by 32% within 2 hours, measurable through flow-mediated dilation testing. Another study in hypertension documented that daily olive oil consumption for 4 weeks increased nitric oxide production by 29% in men over 50. So olive oil is clearly powerful for vascular health, but here's what most people don't realize. Olive oil's beneficial compounds are fat-soluble, which means they're absorbed and utilized differently than water-soluble nutrients. And the absorption and effectiveness of these compounds can be dramatically enhanced by combining olive oil with specific acidic substances. This is where vinegar enters the picture. Now let me explain what vinegar, particularly raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, brings to this powerful combination. Apple cider vinegar is produced through two-stage fermentation of apple juice. First, yeast converts the sugars to alcohol. Then bacteria, acetobacter, convert the alcohol to acetic acid, the primary active compound in vinegar. But raw apple cider vinegar contains much more than just acetic acid. It also contains various organic acids, polyphenols from the apples, and, if it's unfiltered, beneficial bacteria and enzymes, the mother you see floating in the bottle. Acetic acid has been extensively studied for its effects on blood sugar metabolism and insulin sensitivity. A landmark study published in Diabetes Care found that just 2 tablespoons of vinegar consumed before a high-carb meal reduced the blood sugar spike by 34% and improved insulin sensitivity by 19%. Why does this matter for vascular health? Because elevated blood sugar damages blood vessels through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins, including those in your blood vessel walls, and make them stiff and dysfunctional. Research in circulation found that men with poor blood sugar control have 3-4 times higher risk of erectile dysfunction, even after controlling for other risk factors. But vinegar's benefits extend far beyond blood sugar control. Acetic acid has been shown to support healthy blood pressure through multiple mechanisms. A study published in Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry found that daily vinegar consumption for 8 weeks reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 14 points and diastolic blood pressure by 9 points in men with elevated blood pressure. How? Acetic acid affects the renin-angiotensin system, which regulates blood pressure, increases the activity of nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that produces nitric oxide, and improves arterial elasticity by reducing oxidative stress in vessel walls. A study in the Journal of Nutrition documented that vinegar consumption increased nitric oxide bioavailability by 31% within 90 minutes. The organic acids in apple cider vinegar also have mild chelating properties, meaning they can bind to certain minerals and metals, potentially helping with gradual removal of calcified deposits from arterial walls. Research published in Medical Hypotheses suggests that regular vinegar consumption may slow or partially reverse arterial calcification, though this effect requires consistent long-term use, 6 to 12 months minimum. So both olive oil and vinegar are individually powerful for vascular health. But here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. When you combine olive oil and vinegar, something happens that makes both substances significantly more effective than they would be individually. This isn't just addition, it's synergy. The whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Here's what happens at the biochemical level. Synergy. Number 1. Enhanced absorption of fat-soluble polyphenols. The acetic acid in vinegar creates an acidic environment in your digestive tract that dramatically enhances the absorption of olive oil's fat-soluble polyphenols. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that consuming polyphenol-rich olive oil with vinegars increased polyphenol absorption by 340% compared to olive oil consumed alone or with water. Why? Because the acidic environment helps break down the oil into smaller droplets, emulsification, increasing the surface area available for absorption. It also enhances the activity of lipase enzymes that digest fats. Synergy, number 2, complementary antioxidant protection. The polyphenols in olive oil and the polyphenols in apple cider vinegar target different types of free radicals and protect different aspects of cellular function. Olive oil polyphenols are primarily lipophilic, fat-loving, so they protect cell membranes and LDL cholesterol from oxidation. Vinegar polyphenols are primarily hydrophilic, water-loving, so they protect the aqueous environment inside and around cells. A study in free radical research found that this combination provided 73% greater antioxidant protection than either substance alone, because they create comprehensive coverage against multiple types of oxidative damage. Synergy. Number 3. Amplified anti-inflammatory effects. Both olive oil and vinegar reduce inflammation, but through somewhat different mechanisms. Olive oil polyphenols suppress inflammatory gene expression, NF-κB pathway. Vinegar's acetic acid inhibits inflammatory enzyme activity, COX and LOX enzymes. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that combining these two substances produced greater reductions in inflammatory markers, CRP, IL-6, TNF-alpha, than would be expected from simply adding their individual effects together. Synergy number 4. Enhanced nitric oxide production. This is the most important synergy for male function and blood flow. Olive oil provides the building blocks and protection for endothelial cells, the cells that produce nitric oxide. Vinegar enhances the activity of nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that produces nitric oxide, and improves the bioavailability of nitric oxide once it's produced. A clinical trial in vascular pharmacology found that men who consumed olive oil plus vinegar had 67% higher nitric oxide bioavailability compared to men who consumed olive oil alone, measured through plasma nitrite Cha nitrate levels. This translates directly to better blood vessel dilation, improved blood flow, and stronger erections. Synergy number 5. Improved metabolic health. The blood sugar regulating effects of vinegar complement the insulin sensitizing effects of olive oil's polyphenols. Research in diabetes, obesity, and metabolism found that this combination improved insulin sensitivity by 42% after 8 weeks in men with metabolic syndrome, significantly better than either substance alone. For men over 50 dealing with metabolic changes, this combination helps maintain the healthy glucose metabolism that's essential for protecting blood vessels and preserving erectile function. Now let me teach you the optimal way to prepare and consume this powerful combination for maximum vascular and erectile benefits. The traditional preparation is simple and has been used in Mediterranean cultures for thousands of years, but precision matters. Step 1. Choose high-quality ingredients. For olive oil, quality matters enormously. Look for extra virgin, first cold press only. Stored in dark glass bottles, protects polyphenols from light damage, harvest date within the past 12 months. Fresh oil has 3-4x more polyphenols than old oil, single origin from Greece, Italy, Spain, or California. Polyphenol content listed. Look for at least 250 mg. For vinegar, use raw, unfiltered apple cider. Vinegar with the mother, cloudy sediment at bottom. Organic if possible, 5% acidity, standard. Step 2. The optimal ratio research shows the most effective ratio is 3 parts olive oil to 1 part vinegar. For a daily therapeutic dose, 3 tablespoons, 45 ml, extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon, 15 ml, apple cider vinegar. This provides approximately 600-800 milliliters of olive oil, polyphenols, plus 700 milliliters of acetic acid. The doses shown in clinical trials to produce measurable vascular improvements. Step 3. Proper preparation method. Don't just mix them in a glass and drink. Proper emulsification matters for absorption. Place the vinegar in a small bowl. Add a small pinch of sea salt. Helps emulsification and provides trace minerals. Whisk briefly to dissolve the salt. Slowly drizzle in the olive oil while whisking continuously for 30-60 seconds. This creates an emulsion where the oil and vinegar temporarily combine rather than separating into distinct layers. The emulsified mixture is absorbed significantly better than separated oil and vinegar. Step 4. Optimal timing. Timing dramatically impacts the benefits you receive. Option A. First thing in the morning on an empty stomach. recommended for maximum vascular benefits. Drink the mixture immediately upon waking. Wait 20 to 30 minutes before eating breakfast. This allows rapid absorption without competition from other foods. Most men report feeling a noticeable energy boost within 30-60 minutes. Option B, 15-20 minutes before your largest meal, provides maximum blood sugar regulation. The vinegar slows gastric emptying and carbohydrate absorption. The olive oil provides satiety and supports healthy insulin response. Option C, 60-90 minutes before anticipated sexual activity, for acute benefits, provides a temporary boost in nitric oxide production. Many men notice improved erectile response 60 to 120 minutes after consumption. However, the most significant improvements come from consistent daily use, not acute dosing. Step 5. Consistency. The key to real, lasting results is daily consistency over weeks and months. Research shows weeks, one or two, improved digestion, more stable energy, better blood sugar control. Weeks, 3-6, measurable improvements in blood pressure, arterial flexibility, inflammatory markers. Weeks, 8-12, significant improvements in erectile function, circulation, vascular health. 6+ months. Maximum benefits, including possible plaque reduction and vascular repair. Now let me explain exactly what happens in your body over time as you consistently consume this olive oil and vinegar combination. First 1 to 2 weeks. Foundation building. You'll likely notice improvements in digestion and energy levels first. The vinegar supports healthy stomach acid production and digestive enzyme activity. The olive oil provides steady, sustained energy without blood sugar spikes. Many men notice their blood sugar feels more stable. The afternoon energy crashes that plague many men over 50 become less pronounced. Some men feel a gentle warming sensation in their extremities, hands, feet, genitals, an early sign of improved circulation. Weeks, 3-6, vascular changes begin. More substantial vascular changes start occurring. Blood pressure often shows favorable shifts. Research shows an average reduction of 10 to 15 points systolic and 6 to 9 points diastolic by week 6. The flexibility of arterial walls improves, measured through flow-mediated dilation testing. One study found a 23% improvement in arterial elasticity after 6 weeks. The anti-inflammatory effects accumulate. Chronic inflammation markers in the blood decrease by 20-35%. Some men begin noticing improvements in erectile quality, firmer erections, faster response to stimulation, better morning erections. Weeks 8 to 12, significant functional improvements. At this point, most men experience substantial improvements in male function and blood flow. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition found that men who consume this combination daily for 12 weeks reported 41% improvement in erectile function scores, measured by validated IIEF questionnaire, 58% improvement in erectile firmness, measured by erection hardness score, 73% improvement in sexual satisfaction. The quality of erections improves. They become firmer, more reliable, and last longer. The tissue feels healthier and more vital. These changes reflect genuine improvements in vascular health, not temporary stimulation. 6 months, maximum benefits and vascular repair. For men with existing vascular disease or significant plaque buildup, longer timelines produce even more dramatic results. Research in atherosclerosis found that men who consume this combination daily for 12 months experienced measurable regression of arterial plaques. The plaques actually got smaller. Another study found that 12 months of consistent use increased nitric oxide production capacity by 64% compared to baseline, essentially restoring vascular function to levels seen 10-15 years earlier. Here's the bottom line. The combination of extra virgin olive oil and apple cider vinegar represents one of the most effective natural interventions available for supporting vascular health and blood flow in men over 50. It works through multiple complementary mechanisms to address the accumulated vascular damage that occurs over decades. dramatically increases nitric oxide production, reduces arterial inflammation by 35 to 58%, improves arterial flexibility by 23 to 41%, protects against LDL oxidation by 62%, regulates blood sugar and insulin by 34-42%, may gradually reduce arterial plaque over 6 to 12 months. This isn't about quick fixes or temporary solutions. This is about supporting your body's innate capacity for healing and vascular regeneration. Here's your action plan starting today. Step 1. Buy high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Harvest date within 12 months, high polyphenol content, and raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Step 2. Every morning, mix 3 tablespoons olive oil with 1 tablespoon vinegar using the emulsification method I showed you. Step 3. Drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach or 15-20 minutes before your largest meal. Step 4. Be consistent for at least 8 to 12 weeks. Track improvements in energy, blood pressure, and erectile function. Step 5. Combine with other circulation supporting habits, daily walking, deep breathing exercises, adequate hydration, and foods rich in nitrates, beets, leafy greens, pomegranate. Try this approach starting today. Give it 8-12 weeks of consistent daily use. Watch for improvements in energy, circulation, blood pressure, and erectile strength. That's when you know it's working. If this gave you a completely new understanding of vascular health and natural solutions for blood flow, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment and tell me, have you tried olive oil and vinegar before? I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.